I don't think we've ever had a situation in this epidemic where we've been able to do so much on prevention. I mean, just listed, circumcision, post-exposure prophylaxis, pre-exposure prophylaxis, treatment as prevention, over 30 drugs and combinations of drugs. And it's not that it's going to be easy, but we've got huge capabilities of preventing and treating and turning an acutely fatal disease into a chronic disease. The activists that I knew, that I worked with, I'd be at some meetings where they would put their heads down at the table or excuse themselves from the meetings because they were so sick. Some of the guys I don't recognize anymore. They're well, they're functioning. We can do that. We can do that in resource-poor countries. There's at least, numbers change, but there's at least 20 to 30 countries now where the seroprevalence of HIV has gone down. Why? Because they're doing more in prevention, they're doing more in treatment. So we can do it. We just got to believe that we can do it and act faster. You can't wait 2 or 3 years to implement a clinical research study finding that could impact millions of lives. I mean, that's just not acceptable. And that's not why we do research. That's not this epidemic is about being able to control it and to change it. So I'm optimistic. I think we need activism. We don't have any in these countries. I mean, they're somewhat fearful. People, doctors even, are fearful of the governments and reprisals. I'd love to take some of our U.S. activists and get them involved in some of these other countries so that they can call attention to the problems and give a voice to what could be done. Why is a person going to change their behavior? Why is a government going to change their behavior? They're not going to study the literature and go over things and say we should do this. It really has to come from the people. It has to come from people who are affected by these things. So whether it's smoking or pneumococcal vaccine or HIV/AIDS or cancer chemotherapy, I mean, look at the benefit that came out of the HIV activism, not just HIV. I mean, earlier entry into experimental studies, earlier access to drugs that were effective, accelerated FDA approval. I remember going to a meeting of all of the heads of the pharmaceutical companies that President Clinton called. I was on the drug development task force, and it was like, rules are rules and you can't change them. It's simply, they have to be adaptable and they have to be responsive to the people. And that's the battle everywhere, I think, with activism, because people who control don't always act in the best interest of either the majority or even minority group people. So you need it, and you need people who have that passion to do it.